AAU Talks on our AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa. My name is Ajaman Ochredako, and as we count down to the 8th ACE Regional Project Steering Committee workshop that will be happening in the Gambia, we must appreciate the trajectory of the ACE impact in 11 countries in the West and Central African countries, particularly in the areas of health, agriculture, STEM, environment, and the others, and the success stories that these countries have to tell. And today I have with me the Director for Science and Technology at the Gambia to tell the success story, impact, and other information you need to know about how great the ACE project has been in advancing the quantity, quality, and also the access of higher education in the area of postgraduate education in Africa. So stay with me. I'll be right back after a short break and you resume the discussions. I'll let you know who he is as usual and then talk more about the impact, the main business of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Hello Africa, you're welcome to AgroLink on AAU TV. AgroLink is a program that aims at showcasing and highlighting agricultural activities on the continent.
Welcome back on AAU Talks on AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa. My name is Ajaman Ochredako, and today with me in the studio is the Director for Science and Technology at the Gambia, the person of Samba Sow. You're welcome to AAU Talks.
Thank you very much.
Great. Yeah. So it must be a great trip all the way from Gambia to Ghana, AAU TV's headquarters. And let's find out from you how it's been so far in Ghana. Are you loving the weather?
Yes, it's good. It's like home, away from home to home. It's the same weather. I left a rainy season and also met here that it's been raining and it's a nice weather. It's not too humid and it's okay.
Great news. Yeah. Great news. And the interesting thing about the Gambia, if you care to know, is that the Gambia was the first country in West Africa to host the first ACE PSC regional workshop, and counting down to host the 8th, and that means a lot of capacity building in there for you and preparedness. But let's feel the experience right at the beginning, hosting the first, and now looking forward to host the 8th.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to be part of this AAU TV Talks.
Sure.
And like you've mentioned, my name is Samba Sow. I'm the Director for Science, Technology and Innovation at the Ministry for Higher Education,
Great.
Research, Science and Technology in Gambia. And also I double as the ACE focal point for the Gambia.
Okay.
The first hosting by Gambia of the ACE PSC regional PSC workshop was in 2015.
Great.
And it came at a time when Gambia was entering into the project at a space in which we were buying services from other centers of excellence by training on average up to 10 candidates in selected key STEM, health and agriculture related institutions, both training institutions and also government agencies. To train them at master's and PhD levels in specialized areas. So it was successfully done with swift and very collaborative engagement with the World Bank and AAU. We were able to successfully host it, and it was a big test for the Gambia, but I think those who would have been still members and who had attended would attest that it was successfully hosted. So we count on also to providing much more hospitality and also hosting services as we get into the forthcoming ACE PSC workshop.
Great.
Yeah.
You know, the very interesting thing about you being here today is that in our previous encounter we've had two very prominent people from the Gambia who had been in this very great chair. Sitting with me in an interview, we had Moseka, who was the permanent secretary for higher education in Gambia, and also the former now vice president for the Gambia, who was former education minister, His Excellency Bandara Alujif, also interacted with me, and it's all about the future of higher education in the Gambia and the role it is playing in transforming the Gambian dream to be on top. Yeah. And you are the focal points of this dream to ensure that it materializes in the area of science, technology, and innovation. And I want to ask you, what has been the Gambian experience thus far with the ACE project and the focus in the Gambian story?
The experience and the focus has always been on building capacities.
Great.
Building capacities in relation to human capacity and at the same time institutional capacity. Well, that's the only way we could be able to sum up to the dream of what has been enshrined in our National Development Plan and also into our sectoral strategic plan of building the requisite competencies in terms of human resources that will serve the different priority sectors of the economy. So with the advent of the ACE-1, like I've mentioned, we've successfully graduated many students from different regional universities, ACE centers of excellence in the areas of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, health and agriculture. And these people have successfully returned back to the Gambia, serving middle level positions, some in key chief executive positions, and contributing immensely to the socio-economic development of the country. Notwithstanding, in the successor project of the ACE-1, which is the ACE Impact for Development project, it came at a time when in 2017 we had a new government in place that came up with this idea of putting great emphasis on human capital development. And it also sit positively on the higher education transformation agenda that you've mentioned our former minister and the current vice president had in mind. So we consolidated these together, and through the World Bank project, we considered and was approved by the Association of African Universities and the World Bank for us to institute a center of excellence in science and engineering for entrepreneurship at the institution that was already lined up for transformation into a university, which is Gambia Technical Training Institute, which has now been successfully done, and it is the University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology, USAT. So that has been going on, and a lot of efforts have been done. The first cohorts of students have been enrolled. The first cohort is in their second year, and the enrollment of the second cohort is they are almost finishing their first year, and already it's open that we are enrolling for the third cohort. So the institutional arrangements for this whole initiative, because like I've mentioned to you, there was a scenario that the current GTTI could not be able to just fully take up the teaching role of doing a degree program. So we needed to be mentored. So we looked around to look at who could be the best mentor in this area of STE, which is science, technology, and engineering. So this was how Kwame Nkrumah was selected based on their competencies to mentor along the lines of the delivery of core engineering. We harmonized their engineering program, which is electrical, electronics, mechanical, and civil engineering. So those programs were brought to the Gambia, and they were subjected to quality assurance review by our competent authority, which is the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority. So the delivery had started. To ensure that this program is unique, like you've mentioned in your introduction, we had to get a specialized university that has a brand in the area of entrepreneurship. So we reached out to the Demonford University in Leicester, United Kingdom, and they will be embedding entrepreneurship modules as part of the core engineering programs of these 3 constituent faculties of the College of Engineering at the USED. So that has been the academic paradigm in terms of the starting of the new Imagine Center. But we understand that the mentorship at some point will come to an end. So what happens after that? So in the process of that, we had to look at the first graduates that were trained in ACE 1 who were situated in this GTTI. So we've selected a particular and a sufficient number of them in different disciplines that can fit directly into this Imagine Center and have been sent to for training in Kwame Nkrumah, in addition to others who were sent from different sectors, but their 3 program areas are relevant to this university. So we had an arrangement with them that they will return back and teach on part-time, even though they still are employed by their retained employment with their institutions, but they still provide part-time lectures. So those people will serve as the first cohort of Gambians who will be taking up the teaching and administrative roles as part of the university. It's more specific, the College of Engineering. At a time when we were starting this, we realized that, we had no vice chancellor, so the World Bank came up with an idea that we needed to recruit a consultant who will lead this whole process. So a consultant have already been recruited, and he's been very helpful in setting the stage to ensure that these processes are, all the academic processes in terms of setting up the college and the university are in place. And at the same time, we have a limited few already undergoing PhD programs in the area of entrepreneurship, and will also provide their insights in terms of skills at the level of the College of Engineering. Another aspect is, curricula for engineering is not only on theory, it has to be practice-based. So we need laboratories that sum up to the curricular content that is being delivered. Especially the core engineering and also the entrepreneurship. So as part of this initiative and as part of the World Bank funded project, there is already in progress, and significant progress have been done in procuring the right laboratory equipment for all the 3 labs, in addition to also the disruptive lab that will serve as the laboratory for the innovation hub, and at the same time also the entrepreneurship, for where the students can go and nurture their business ideas and put them into to industry perspective and be able to come up with societal problems that will serve the purpose of the university. So far that's where we are, and also a multi-purpose and state-of-the-art university will be built. We have a master plan, but since the funding of the project for the World Bank is focused on the College of Engineering already, in August, the president had laid the foundation stone for the new university in its new site, and construction works are expected to start earnest, and after the bidding processes have been successfully done for the award of the contract. So that's where we are, and the expectations are high, because when you come up with a new initiative, especially of this matter, at magnitude, you have to ensure that everything, all the aspects and all the stakeholders are together, and this is what we are doing. We are using all the communication tools and outlets to be able to reach out to all the stakeholders, being the industry, which are very key relevant stakeholder, and at the same time, the issue of the community, and also other MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies that would have to buy the services of these graduates. So as at the governance level, already there is a governing council established by the president, and they are overseeing this whole transformation process. And within the affix of the regional project at the level of the Gambia, there's a national steering committee that takes charge of the affairs of the project, and they report directly to the permanent secretary of the ministry. So that's where we are, and we are expecting that we should be, after 4 years of the first cohort, be graduating our own homegrown engineers in our Gambian soil.
So, I mean, one can appreciate that this is really impact-driven from the preparedness of the Gambian people and the leadership of Gambia, who have seen to the future the role of science, technology, engineering, and towards entrepreneurship. And you lay down the necessary foundation with mentorships, both regional-wise and both continental-wise, to be able to position yourself for this great achievement, which I believe in no time you'll be able to reach your hands to touch whatever you conceived in your mind. So let's do a quick turnaround and a break and come back and talk more about the impact in terms of science, technology, engineering for students, and how the story is turned around to find more of these graduates becoming their own solutions to employability and not rather on government. Stay with us, we'll be right back for more. You're welcome back on AAU Talks on AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa. My name is Ajiman Ochodaku, and if you just joined in, we're talking about the upcoming 8th Regional ACE Workshop, a kind of a project steering committee regional workshop that will be taken off in the Gambia from the 14th to the 18th of November. And I'm having here the Director for Science, Technology, and Innovation, who is the focal point of the ACE in the Gambia, to tell us more about the impact, the story, the trajectory so far, the paradigm that they had to take to ensure that they come today with their story with the ACE. Every country has got their story with the experience with the ACE. You've told yours earlier, brilliant story, and which is backed by purpose and also vision from the leadership and yourself as well. Today, what would you boast of being part of the ACE project? What is the achievement? What is there to celebrate with the Gambia?
The most visible part is the current transformation of the Technical Training Institute into a University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology.
Great.
The country had that focus to do it, but it would have been a bit challenge in terms of resources to be able to achieve that without the World Bank funded project, which is under the ACE Impact for Development. So it's a very visible impact, and it's something that, like I mentioned earlier, would be able to ensure that we have a specialized university on science, technology and engineering that has already been put in place. And at the same time, the graduates of the first ACE Impact are in different sectors of the economy, from the National Agricultural Research Institute to the Gambia College, which is a teacher training institute, to the University of the Gambia, which had got a significant amount of numbers in terms of ACE-1 training in the areas of mathematical modeling, statistics, and also other engineering courses and computer science. You talk about the Statistics Bureau, we are also included, and our sister ministry, and even including a cadre of statistics of up to more than 20 we are trained. And these are people now that are having key high positions in the area of planning and data management in the country. So these graduates are very visible and also in all the sectors of development, and they are contributing immensely. At the same time, if you look at the numbers of PhDs up to 15, it would have been nearly impossible to have such a cohort of up to 15 graduates to return back after the completion of such training if it was not for a fully funded project like like the ACE Impact.
Sure.
So it's and you talk about the campus fully funded by a grant, and so all those things are impactful, and they are going to be very visible. Sure. Because if a graduate returns and he holds his PhD, it's very visible.
Yeah.
If you construct a whole college of engineering with all the state-of-the-art laboratory for training, it's very visible. Sure. And it's very impactful. Sure. And you know, it is going to be put in a very conducive green learning environment, and you know, with all the facilities for teaching and learning, including a library and auditorium and other educational resources. So the whole initiative from ACE 1 to the current ACE has been very visible and impactful, and it had come clearly to support the national development initiatives, and also the specific sector initiatives of our ministry, to be able to be the key champion of human capital development in the country.
I think we owe it all to the World Bank and all other institutions that have supported to ensure that this impact-driven project is successful and also materialized. Now, back to all roads leading to the Gambia,
Yes.
14th to the 18th of November. And the question is, when we have these projects being implemented, at a point in time, we have all executives managing the projects in the various countries, 11 countries in Africa, making way to one particular area or one particular center to discuss their activity, to assess their performances and know how to still and keep enhancing the purpose of widening research and also empowering people to be able to be impactful in these areas. What should we expect in this AIDS PSC meeting, regional workshop here at the Gambia?
I start from the brand of the Gambia, which is the smiling coast
Great.
of Africa.
Great.
The hospitality for Gambia, you know, it's obviously always a great one, and you know, we are always happy to receive people, and we are a very welcoming society. In addition to that, you know, the workshop has been lined up to be hosted along the Atlantic Ocean, which is where we have the sandy beaches and almost all the hotel industrial area, tourism development area, and it's the International Conference Center that was built by the government of the Gambia has the capacity to host any international conference up to 450 to 500, as in the case for the years. We'll be able to host them. And the fact that this one is going to be ministerial, in which we'll be expecting up to 11 ministers, we will be providing the requisite hospitality and protocol arrangements for all the VIP guests, and at the same time, you know, accommodation and all other logistics, you know, will be put in place to ensure that everyone comes to the Gambia, feel home, participate fully, and is feeling at home. And at the same time, we learn from the best practices and also knowledge sharing of different ACE centers, and at the same time, be able to tell a story about the Gambia and its hospitality to their countries when they return back home.
Great.
So we've worked hard as in previous, and we've also already put in place the local organizing committee. And like you know, already the current vice president is the champion of higher education and also higher education transformation. And we will be with the minister and the permanent secretary. Once we get back home, we will be briefing the president or the vice president on this forthcoming workshop, to ensure that we have a very their presence in both the official opening and also the closing ceremony, at least to give it that high-level policy touch, because this whole project and initiative is very key to our national development and also to the presidency and to our ministry's development initiatives. So we are telling everyone coming that you are welcome to the Gambia, and you will be happy to be in Gambia as part of the 8th PSC meeting in the Gambia.
What would be the ideal setting like? I'm just trying to just create that allegory in the minds of our viewers who wouldn't, I don't know if you would be there or you won't be there, but just to paint a picture for you to appreciate how it would look like. So a setting where we have all these high level delegates coming from the various centers converging at the Gambia, great spot for this. There couldn't be anywhere better for this the Gambia. And they sit together. What are the objectives? What are the tasks, the outlined activities that they will play in the broader?
In such regional workshops, it will be opportunity for the ministers to know what is the implementation status of each of their respective emerging centers.
Okay.
And at the same time, it is an issue of knowledge sharing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there will be sort of a student innovation competition that will be, the awards will be done as part of the regional workshop. And at the same time, as the host center of excellence, the STI will be providing high-level posters in terms of works that are being done by the emerging center. And at the same time, it is an opportunity for dialogue, because you have vice chancellors, you have focal points, you have professors coming, and this is time for us, for the higher education community to meet and discuss on pertinent developmental issues that will support in addressing our regional and continental needs in terms of STEM, health, environment, and agricultural requirements in relation to human capital development. So it's a very good forum, and as a country we are honored for the opportunity provided for us to host it for the second time, and that we will get the baton again for being the best host. Yeah.
You know, the interesting aspect of the whole thing is that when we come to tell the story, how far these centers have come from the various countries and how well they are developing and shaping the future of these countries the way that they wanted to play. But I also want to ask one thing, that when they come together in that stead, and then as you share your stories and all that, and you've been able to confer ideas, are these centers, these regional workshops, a point where we can develop a whole new idea? Say, okay, then we have to also, this dialogue has informed us to now create a new center. Do we get these things happen during the regional workshops?
Usually, getting a new center can come only in the conception of a new project.
Okay.
But what could happen, for instance, Gambia is instituting an emerging center. It means we must learn from other already established centers of excellence in terms of how they have been doing it, how they have succeeded in maintaining their positions of emerging centers of excellence. So that as we move on to a fully established center of excellence, we can maintain that, and also if there is an opportunity for, in terms of calls for proposal for instituting another center of excellence, then we would have got the requisite experience and knowledge to be able to bid in for another institute, to be able to be funded by any other potential project. And at the same time, it's time for it's an opportunity for networking, wherein, you know, this is time in you have high level and experience academics coming together to be able to discuss on implementation status. Certain hurdles that you've been getting as a center of excellence or an emerging center of excellence, through knowledge sharing by another center of excellence, you could be able to resolve your own challenge. And at the same time, you know, it could be an opportunity wherein other centers could be able to provide free services in terms of supporting amongst themselves. So it's a very good opportunity that has been created as part of the overall regional implementation for dialogue, knowledge sharing, and experimental learning to support each other, and also to move the project to be able to accept its regional project development objectives.
Great. Let me do this for you who was watching me, wherever you may be. Who is supposed to be there, or who has the right to be there?
As part of the call already. Immediately the Gambia was selected and the dates were confirmed. We have rolled out the press release to inform every Gambian and our media outlets about the hosting. Initially, we needed confirmation from the AAU whether a ministerial session would be hosted. That had been confirmed that it's expected that up to 11 ministers will come. Project steering committee members up to 11, and in each of these countries there are focal points, and also every emerging center or center of excellence would be accompanied by up to 4 or 5 delegates, depending on what is going to be approved by the AAU. And at the same time, at the local level also, in terms of the official hosting, you might need key stakeholders. Official opening ceremony, I mean, you might have key stakeholders that you might invite, at least for them to appreciate the regional initiative, to be able to sing through on what is already being replicated in the country, so that in the case that you might need additional support from them or partnership, it is very much clear that this is possible it has been made possible in other countries and regional centers of excellence, and then it is going to be obviously possible that after the graduations and the building of the campus, it is going to be very visible. Yeah.
So I take it as an uncompromising call to anyone who is supposed to be there to try and make it there.
Yes.
Great.
The AAU will finalize on the list, and this will be communicated to us. So we will be there to provide the travel support, the logistics in terms of accommodation, in terms of interpretation services, all as have been done in other centers of excellence as they host. Yeah. So it's going to be a good one. Yeah, hopefully.
You've done it before, so I mean, this one is just a tip of the iceberg for you. So just a final wrap up before we bring the interview to an end. It's the issue about why should someone be there? Why should a stakeholder be present for this particular 8A's regional workshop, or looking at the project steering committee aspect? Why should they be there? What's really at stake?
If you look at the project cycle implementation for the ACE impact, it's almost getting to its final years. So it's time for all centers of excellence to come and dialogue on their respective implementation status. There may be challenges, but that could be hampering on implementation progress in certain centers. That could, by knowledge sharing, it could be addressed or resolved amicably. And at the same time, this could be an opportunity for the whole ACE fraternity to start thinking around what happens next. Because it's a time when you have ministers, you have PSC members, you have focal points, and at the same time you have subject matter experts coming in to think around higher education development in Africa. So it's a very good academic discourse that anyone who had been given the opportunity to attend with all limitations should try to come, because it's the time that the planning for higher education, especially in the area of STEM, is done, and it's where the dishing is done.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So all this while I've been with Samba Soul, he is the Director of Science, Technology and Innovation here there at the Gambia, and he is also the focal point for the World Bank ACE project that has been rolling out in effect since 2015 to ensure that the advancement of quality, quantity and access to postgraduate education in Africa is guaranteed, and that has been going on for some time now. Kudos to the World Bank, the Friend Development Agency, the AAU as their regional facilitating units, and also to all the 11 countries who've been very, very instrumental towards the rollout of this ACE project. And Samba is no different from that. And counting down to the 8 ACE regional workshop for the steering committee to be around, share their story, plan ahead, and as usual, look at how well we can transform the African continent and enrich it with all the experts and all the great things we need to be at the world stage. So this is where we'll bring this interview to an end. Thank you so much, Samba, for your time and all your support towards the project. We look forward to be with you the 14th to the 18th at the Gambia to enjoy not just the great scenery and also the great people and the great culture, to also be part and have a feel of how the ACEs work and how things work from the implementation to the conceptual phase and also to the practical phase, where we see great works in infrastructure on our campuses so far as the ACE is concerned. So that is where we wrap up on the interview. My name is Ajiman Ochudako. Keep watching AAU TV all the time as we are poised to inform, to transform. Have a nice day, be safe, and bye.